Okay, let us continue. And what I'm going to do for the rest of this lesson is show you some good and bad examples. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to put a topic up and I'm going to speak. I've got my clock here in front of me, in case you're wondering what I'm looking at. Here is my clock. I'm going to imagine I've had my 1 minute to take notes. I've actually already made my notes earlier. And I'm going to speak for 2 minutes. Okay. I want to talk about a toy. The toy is like a little green. It's like a motorbike, and I got this toy. It's like Transformers. You know the movie Transformers. It's like a toy from the Transformers. It's like a bike, and you can take the bike and you can mix it up. It was really cool. Like when I was a kid, I loved like changing it from like the man to the bike and from the bike to the man again, and like. I don't really know where I got this toy. I mean, I think I went shopping with my mum and like I saw it on the shelf and she said, choose one of the characters. And so I got to choose and she only had this much money. And I kind of said, okay, I'll have that one there because I like motorbikes at the time. You know, like little boys, you like motorbikes. And so I got the toy and I took the toy and I had it for many, many years. I played with the toy. How did I play with the toy? I played with it by, well, I made it from the man to the bike and from the bike to the man. And sometimes with my friends, we would play with it together, or I'd take it into my bedroom and I'd play with it by myself, or I'd go outside and I'd like play with it in like the park or in the garden. And sometimes I would take it to my friend's house and he would have his Transformer toy and I would have my Transformer toy. And we would like play together, just like racing each other's toys and things. I like this toy. I like bikes, I guess, because I guess bikes go fast. And when you're a little boy, you like the idea of motorbikes and going very quickly. And and because I like Transformers, you know, the movies were really cool. And my friend had Transformers, so I guess still time. Yeah, my friends had Transformers, so so I wanted a Transformer because all of my friends had the Transformers, and Transformers are really cool. Thank you very much. Your time is up. And do you still have this Transformer toy? No. Okay, that was 2 minutes if you weren't paying attention. So basically, from the very beginning, I didn't start well. I kept saying "and" so many times. You notice I jumped back and forth. I didn't answer those questions in order. I never actually said what kind of toy it is. I didn't use the specific vocabulary. I kept saying Transformers over and over again, but that's the name of the company or the brand. It's not the actual kind of toy. I didn't really describe the toy very much. I just said it was a green motorbike and it could change into a man. I mean, that's not bad, but it could be a little bit better when I talked about the toy and what kind of toy. So that could have been a better description of the toy. Okay, I didn't remember where I got the toy. That's fine. And I went to shop and this and this. That was more about the structure for that one there. I didn't really move smoothly from this question to this question to this question. You notice when I talked about how I played with it, I mostly just repeated the verb play and talked about different places because my vocabulary is not good enough to explain. So we need a little bit more variety. This is a key question here. One, this question, we want the vocabulary of what kind of toy it is. Where you got it's a simple question. Anyone can answer that. How you played with it is the difficult thing. This shows you have the verbs, the vocabulary, the right language to explain exactly what you did with this toy. Okay, and I didn't do that very well. Why you like the toy, again, that can be a difficult question to answer. Maybe we don't know why we like the toy there. I mean, it can be a very difficult thing to say. So one of the things, any topic like this, there is a vocabulary test. So what are they listening for? In this situation, this is the particular Transformer toy. I went online and had a look at the photo because I did actually have that toy back in the 1980s. I don't know if that's the exact one. I'm talking 30 years ago I had that toy. If I can remember 30 years ago, you can remember because most of you will be much younger than me. Sorry if you're older than me, but most of my students are under the age of 25 when they take the IELTS test. Okay, so I would say the key language here is action figure, because those kind of plastic toys are action figures. We have dolls, building blocks, and some other vocabulary there. So you can't just say, I had a toy monkey. I had a stuffed monkey, which I called Fredo. So there's some vocabulary. There's other kind of toys, but I thought I'd give you a few examples of some classic toys because, you need to know that vocabulary. So the word action figure, that's something I would be listening for in my answer. Okay, now I'm going to give you now what should be, I hope, a good example. Before I do that, let's have a look at my notes. I don't know how clearly you can see that there because it's a very light blue pen there. Anyway, so that's all my notes. No sentences, a couple of words at the bottom because it's a little bit longer. But if you can't read that, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is that I can read it and I understand what I'm saying. I also will have the questions in front of me, like you can see here. So it's okay. You don't need, you don't need to write the questions here because we have the questions there. Start speaking now. The toy that I would like to talk about is a Transformer action figure that was a green motorbike, which could be converted into a man. As you probably know, the Transformer toys are all like this. They can be changed from one kind of thing, like usually a vehicle, into a person. I don't really remember where I got this toy. I guess my parents bought it for me, but I'm 39. That was 30 years ago. I don't really remember how I got it, but I guess it was from my parents. In terms of how I played with this toy, I mostly remember that I went to my friend's house and went out into his back garden. And in his back garden, there was like a rocky wall, like a garden wall with flowers and plants. And he had his Transformers. I can't remember what he had, but we would both roll our toys. So I'd get my motorbike and I'd take him along the rocks and we'd do big jumps across to the other side of the garden. And we'd put the bad guys, the bad Transformers over on the other side. And we kind of we'd role play. We kind of pretend that we are that toy. We'd pretend that while I'm speaking, it is talking. And so we'd create like a story or a role play, and we'd move the Transformer toys, we'd move the action figures around the garden to eventually fight and beat the bad guys. I'm pretty sure we always won in the end because, your kids, you want to have a happy ending. Finally, I liked this toy just because I guess it was a toy that I had for a few years and I played with it with my friend and we had a lot of kind of adventures with this toy. But I really just chose this toy because I have a good memory of playing with that toy, especially with my friend in his back garden. And of course, most kids, we like motorbikes. Thank you. You can stop speaking now. Okay, so that there, both of those went for 2 minutes. Both of them answered the 4 questions, but you see the second one there, again, I gave better information about the toy. I used the term action figure. I used that it would convert from a man to a motorbike. I didn't have a much better answer for where I got this toy because, again, not remembering how you got it doesn't mean you can't say anything, but you should explain that you can't remember it. How you played with it, of course, I gave a lot more detail. We pretend, we make up a story, we role play, we fought the bad guys, we jumped over the garden, So I had a lot better vocabulary there for that question. And again, the last question, and I moved smoothly through those questions. You'll notice I didn't look at my notes a great deal. So while looking down at my notes, it was just to remember what I was talking about. So let's have a look here. I don't know if you can see here on my notes, we have Transformer, green. I have TFGMB, Transformer, green, motorbike. X in M, which means I don't remember seeing it in one of the new Transformer movies. I have here W/F with friend. I have bike, Jump. I just have an arrow there, kind of thing. You can see that there. Jump over other cars and over the garden. So these notes were there to help me, but I didn't rely on the notes. I didn't need the notes. Okay. Anyway, so using the notes should be about helping you get through there. Speaking about those questions in order, giving clear and detailed vocabulary, moving from question to question without using and all of the time. Okay, guys, I think that will be enough for this video. It's very difficult for me to show you. I can give you an example, but every part 2 is different. So you should be practicing a lot of these in your own time. As usual, record yourself and listen back to it and see how it meets all of those things I talked to you about earlier. Okay, so that is the end of video 5. That is the last video I'm making today, but it might be 5 weeks before you see this video. So thank you very much for your patience. I will see you next time. Have a good day. Bye-bye.